Alright, here we are for round number 4 with this blue-black Reanimator deck. We're on the play against AK1. AK1 is a player I know, so I don't know what he's playing, but definitely played him before. I'm going to keep this. We do have an interesting decision on turn number 1 if I just want to play the Bojuka Bog or the Delver. Going to run out the Delver. Not sure exactly what to do on turn number 2. Okay, we're playing against a white deck. It's probably Kuldotha Boros, but I'm not sure. So I can brainstorm. I think I'll just brainstorm here. I don't actually have any instants or sorceries, but this will pretty much guarantee that I get to have one. So I'm gonna put the Greater Sandworm on top, and then I'm gonna put the Mental Note on top of that. I'd rather my opponent know I have a Mental Note, and I'm probably going to try to get rid of this in my upkeep next turn. Yeah, so let's do that. Okay, yes. Bojuka Bog, my opponent. Attack with this. So, probably playing against Kuldotha Boros, so the Delvers are going to be pretty bad. We could be playing against some kind of like Cyborg's deck, but they normally would have a 1-drop play. Affinity also would probably have a 1-drop play. Whereas Kuldotha Boros sometimes doesn't really get started until turn 2. Make sure I put this stop in my upkeep. I really don't want to draw another Greater Sandworm. I'd rather just mill it. If I get really lucky, I'll hit an Exhume and I'll be able to get this back right away. Yep, Kuldotha Boros. They have a pretty slow start, it looks like. Not uncommon for this deck, though. They do have to discard, which is always a little upsetting. One of the many advantages of being on the play, you never have to discard to these. So my opponent kind of loses their advantage of being on the draw, and I still get all the advantage of being on the play. There's already extra advantage to being on the play anyway. So, ooh, Kuldotha Rebirth gone. Let's go ahead and Mental Note. Ooh, there's the Exhume I wanted. Alright. Terramorphic Expanse. I'm still short on casting this Angler. I'm going to play this island so I can cycle my Sandworm. Yeah, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, not 7. So, still short on that. I'll play the island and then kind of represent, I don't know, some kind of counter magic. So, this is an interesting sacrifice. I don't know what they have. Firebolt. Well, that's pretty annoying. Yeah, it's interesting that they have Nicker Wellspring and they decided not to keep the Kuldotha Rebirth. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. Another land is pretty bad. Yeah, nothing in my upkeep. Let's draw. I guess it's a perfectly fine time to play the Terramorphic Expanse and grab an island. And then I will play my Gurmag Angler and leave just one Sandworm in the graveyard. And hold up Counterspell. So they don't have very many things that can answer Gurmag Angler. They probably have Journey to Nowhere, but otherwise I'm not too worried about it. The big problem is if they just play a Kuldotha Rebirth, they can just block this forever, and it's never going to get through. So I might counter a Kuldotha Rebirth as well. It's a shame I milled that Exhume, would have been a nice one to draw. Yeah, I think I just have to counter this. I'm never going to get through it. So, if they have the Journey, they have the Journey, but the deck doesn't usually play more than 2 or 3 of them, and yeah, looks like they found one of them, which is pretty unfortunate for us. Our draw didn't quite line up very well with theirs. Glint Hawk for no value. Not my favorite play ever. I guess I'll play this Delver out. And then I'll play this island, and then I'm going to hold the Swamp in case I can shuffle it away. Problem with Delver is it's horrible in this matchup. I'm not sure I have any cards worse in my deck than Delver in this matchup. They've got like 9, 10, 11. They've got 11 removal spells. And 9 of them are 1 mana. And some of them have flashback. So it's pretty bad. Yep. I really need to get a Greater Sandworm in this matchup. I don't know how else I can possibly win, so I really need to draw an Exhume. I could have countered that, I guess. Maybe I should have. I just wasn't really thinking about it. I was just thinking about protecting my Sandworm. Yep, let's just pass the turn. Maybe I should have just countered that. I was kind of thinking I was going to counter this Firebolt flashback this turn. But I just kind of got locked into that, thinking pretty easy Dispel here. So let's see if they attack with everything and try to rally me. Yeah, I can't waste a counterspell on that. Okay, they didn't cast a rally. I would have had to counter that pretty much. So I need to draw Exhume right here. Would be nice to draw a Gush, would be the best draw. Don't think I can counter a Glint Hawk either. Mostly I just don't think I have any outs here. Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna concede. Well, whatever, we can play one more turn. I could draw Brainstorm and draw like tons of good cards. So, as far as countering the Kuldotha Rebirth, we would have just gotten to attack this turn, and they would have had all these birds. So I could have countered the Journey, and then I could have countered the Battle Screech too, and we would have maybe gotten there. But they also could have just double bolted it at some point. I don't know, I have to counter that and hope I maybe draw an Echoing Decay, I guess. Nope, I'll land. Not great. So, I think I want maybe like a Dispel, Avant-Garde Justice for sure, probably some Shrivels. Kind of like Stormbound Geist, it's okay against them, not amazing. Hydroblast, I have to decide if I want that too. So I got 4 easy cuts. Goodbye, Delver. And then a 5th easy cut. Goodbye, Sultai Scavenger. I don't want this stuff that just dies to a million burn spells and whatever, I just don't want that stuff in my deck. So those are some easy cuts, and it makes my Shrivels much better not having the Delver in the deck. Not sure how much I want more Dispels and stuff. I do like some removal. Rush of Vitality is still pretty nice. Can save something from like a double burn spell or whatever. So I want all this stuff. Do have to decide if I want any of this stuff. I do like Stormbound Geist. It kind of blocks all their stuff, most of their threats, like forever, and it's kind of a grindy matchup, so I think Deep Analysis is pretty good too. So I have to figure out what I want to cut. Maybe it is Rush of Vitality. It is kind of cool to just get people with that, though. Do have to make 3 more cuts. Maybe it's Ghastly Demise. Don't really need 1-for-1 removal here. I'd rather just sweep everything up at once if I can. You guys have to let me know in the comments what you think about the sideboarding here. I do kind of like a lot of this stuff. Like I like the Spell Pierce. Maybe it is Rush of Vitality. They're sort of like we can get out of burn range with it. Maybe I'll just cut it. They're still not a burn deck. This might be too much stuff. I'll cut the Dispel. Alright. That might be too much stuff for their burn spells. Would I like to play first? Yes, I would. This hand seems fine. Keep. I'm going to lead off with a Mental Note, I guess. Then I'll probably Brainstorm and try to Mental Note some bad, and then Thought Scar some bad stuff away. The reason I want to just lead off on the Mental Note is that if I draw an Exhume and mill something right away, I'd be in pretty good shape. Alright, the Raven Inspector, nope, just cycling right away, get that F6 value. I can appreciate that. Okay, not great. Bajuka Bug, huh? Yeah, I don't really anticipate using my blue mana this turn for anything else. I do want to keep up Hydroblast, so I'm not gonna use anything else. I don't think I'm gonna need the Hydroblast, but Prophetic Prism is fine. So I'm gonna brainstorm here. I'll probably get rid of this swamp. I'm gonna get rid of one shrivel. What else do I want to get rid of? That might be the only thing I really want to get rid of, actually. So I get 2 draws at a land if I get rid of my swamp. I don't really need a second swamp. Yeah, let's get rid of the swamp. I'm greedy. Let's go ahead and mental note. Because I'd really like to hit an island, not a swamp. It's possible I should have cast that brainstorm in response to the prophetic prism so I could draw this daze. Not sure I would have dazed it anyway, but that would have been something to consider. I drew a swamp anyway. Okay. So we're stuck on blue mana this game. We've had some struggles really with the colors, that's for sure. If they play like a Core Skyfisher, Ichor Wellspring I'm not gonna daze. Doesn't really do anything. Alright. Opponent is discarding. So if they do the same move next turn, I am gonna daze it. Let's go ahead and brainstorm. See what I hit. Got an island. What do I want to get rid of? I'm not sure I really need this shrivel anymore. Let's go shrivel on top and then... Oh boy. I might not need all these Thought Scours, so I'll leave one Thought Scour on top. And let's go ahead and Gurmag Angler. I'm only in trouble here if they draw exactly an untapped land and they have way to exile this, so like a Journey to Nowhere plus an untapped land. It'd be pretty annoying. But if they just have one or the other, it's not a big deal. So if they just play one of these without playing a land, I think I'll daze it, just to try to keep them off land. Alright, they drew it. Do they have them both? Come on. Well, we got owned again. I mean, maybe that was a little greedy, but our opponent had a top deck. Raven Inspector. I think I'll daze that guy. He's kind of annoying. Nah, he just doesn't do anything. So I don't really want to draw that shrivel. I'll Thought Scour myself into turn here. Another Angler is a good one, and another Angler is another good one. Would have been nice to have one more Thought Scour at this point. Let's go ahead and just play this. So the problem is the Angler is going to have a lot of trouble actually getting through anything. It's going to take me forever to get to attack with it. Would have much preferred a Greater Sandworm at some point. Not that I don't have an Exhume anyway, so not that it would have done me much good, but it is what it is. Glinthawk. Glinthawk is okay. Yep. Prism also fine. I really don't want to daze that and have them play a land. Alright, so they drew double land. That's pretty annoying. Just go ahead and brainstorm at the end of turn. Okay. Still nothing in our graveyard though. I have no way to get rid of this stuff, so I am brainstorm locked, unfortunately. Not going to need the Exhume, so... Jump block, huh? Interesting. Alright. So I'm not gonna tap out to play this Angler. Once I counter a couple of spells, then I'll be just fine. Jump Block makes it that if they double burn my Angler, I'll probably Hydroblast one of them, rather than exhuming it back, because I don't want to give them a Thraben Inspector for free. Alright, what's my opponent got here? Nothing, huh? Okay. I'm gonna keep attacking. And I'm gonna keep not playing this guy. My opponent's got tons of cards. Didn't cast anything that turn. Picker Wellspring, still fine. So this is one of the things that sometimes happens to your Kuldotha Boros deck. You get a little stuck on lands early, and then you draw just tons and tons of 2-mana draw 1 card cards. And you get kind of stuck. Mortuary Mire. I guess that's a reason to do that. To Jump Block. Does give me a sweet, sweet exhume value though. What's my opponent got now? Picker Wellspring, so my opponent can cast this Thraben Inspector. I think I'll daze it. We're getting to the point where Daze is going to be dead pretty soon. I could have dazed it the first time it came down too, but didn't feel like it. I'd also like to get another card in my graveyard. Getting pretty close to being able to just play this Angler. That's a nice one. So I guess I wish I wouldn't have dazed that now. Because now my opponent does get it back. I think I'll actually hold up all the blue mana. I'm not going to probably exhume this turn, I don't think. I really want to hold up Counterspell when I do it. Ponder's an interesting one. I think I'll cast that. Alright, those are all pretty good cards. Let's go ahead and keep those. Shuffle no. Alright. Don't really know what to expect from my opponent this turn. I don't think I'll counter a Core Skyfisher, but maybe I should. No. If he plays another one, I'll counter it though. I want to save my counterspells to protect my Greater Sandworm. Wellspring's fine. Don't care about that. Okay. That's fine. So I think I should exhume first maybe. No, because then he just gets a free block on my Gurmag Angler. So if I exhume here, I'll still have 5 cards in my graveyard. And I won't be able to cast Angler and hold up a counterspell. So I'll just do it this way. A little unfortunate my opponent gets a sweet value, but it is what it is. Alright, well, pass the turn. Cycling. My opponent's going to have like a bunch of burn spells at some point in here. Don't know exactly when. I don't think I'm going to win this game. My clock has just been a little too slow and things have just kind of not quite worked out for me. My opponent just needs to have nothing. Like if they have a rally, I can't really do anything about it. Galvanic Blast, I'll just Hydroblast it. Got all these Hydroblast rotting in my hand. No use. Just a regular old bolt. I'll let that one resolve. So, dead to a lot of stuff. I'm dead to a rally plus another bolt. I think I might be dead to just regular old rally too, because I can't actually... I don't know. I think I didn't play this aggressively enough, maybe. Maybe I should have just gotten my Sandworm out there when I couldn't hold up Counterspell. Because now I'm just going to lose to this stuff. Or maybe I should have countered this Skyfisher earlier. Alright, well, we probably aren't going to die this turn now that they had to do that. But we'll probably die next turn. Kind of have to counter this, I think. Here's another Journey, we're dead. And my opponent doesn't have any lands in hand, so we're gonna Battle Screech. Is like everything's gonna be unbeatable. Yeah. I don't think we could have beaten that. I don't think we could have beaten that Core Skyfisher anyways. So I think it's okay to counter there. Yeah. We are dead no matter what, I think. So what can I draw here? Just literally nothing I can draw. So I think I'll just keep this Spell Pierce actually. I'd like to shuffle no. Then I can play my Gurmag Angler. The problem is all I need to do is chump block either turn and I can't win. Yeah. I could have kept the Bajuka Bug and taken these Firebolts out of there. But I would really prefer they tap out to cast one of them. I can't beat that either, so I guess I'm Hydroblasting. I just can't really beat anything. I can't beat, yeah, I had no outs here, unfortunately. That stinks. This is a deck that, like a normal Angler Delver list, I think would be able to beat. But at the same time, they had a lot more exile effects than a normal one, and they always happen to have them right on time. So, they got me. Alright, on to round number 5.